is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Here we discuss trending news and thought-provoking topics from the realms of, from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and so much more. Look, on today's show, I'm so excited to have King Arthur. No, I'm not talking about King Arthur from the Round Table because you're probably like, is he still alive? Ain't he? No, the King Arthur, the real King Arthur, co-host of one of my favorite podcasts. I always tune into Figure Shit Out podcast. You can check it out on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Rumble. It's a dope show where there's two hosts, two guys, business-minded individuals, positive-minded individuals, talk about entrepreneurship, wealth, health, wellness, stuff that we need to always discuss, especially, amongst men too, because I feel like sometimes we keep ourselves in a bubble and we really prevent ourselves from having great open-minded, open dialogue conversations, things in that nature. So I'm very excited to have him on, man. He's also a fellow bearded brother. So, I'm really hype about that. Not to all you baby face out there. If y'all tune into the show, I appreciate you, but listen, come on. Join the family. Y'all, why are you taking so long? Hey, let me tell you something. Ladies love a man with a beard now. Y'all keep on saying, no, my wife doesn't like it. It start itch. No, it's nonsense. Grow that beard out. As y'all see, I'm rocking my Knicks hat today because we are 2-0 right now in the playoffs, and I think it's still the first round against the Philly Sixers. And I'm hyped. Philadelphia 76ers, I'm hyped because, like I said, we're 2-0. We got a great squad this year. Shout out to Brunson. Shout out to the whole squad. Coach, just the atmosphere it's exciting to be a Knicks fan. I've always been a diehard. A lot of y'all don't know. My family on my mother's side, they're all New Yorkers. Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, all the boroughs. We have some folks in New Jersey as well. And I just grew up being a diehard Knicks fan, man. And most of my NBA games is at the Garden, the real Garden, not that, the one with the green and white. I ain't gonna give them the credit and give them that name. It gives me a little nauseous even trying to say Boston. I can't. Whew, oh, that was close. I almost puked on y'all. But anyway, you are tuned in to the Arrington Gavin show. We drop new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. So wherever you listen to your podcast, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you can find your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin show. All you have to do is just type in R Smooth Club Media. You can check us out from there. Also, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media. Let's see, R Smooth Club Media. I'm missing something here. Facebook at R Smooth Club Podcast, Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on X, formerly known as Twitter, R Smooth Club Media. So many avenues you can tune in, and also too you can check out reruns of the show on ESP TV. Okay, ESP TV on Facebook and ErnestSmithProductions.com. We're continue to grow every Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. So you can tune into reruns every Saturdays and Sunday at 7 p.m. on those two specific platforms, ESP TV on Facebook and then ErnestSmithProductions.com online. So I truly appreciate y'all. And we're actually working on the website too. Just another avenue where you can tune into the show, catch on, what's going on in my not day-to-day life, but events I'm involved in and things in that nature. So we here continue to grow the platform and just keep on building, man. And so I'm very, very, very excited that you all continue to tune in to this show. Like I said, this is just a simple conversation where I get to kick back and have fun with you, my friends, the listeners, the viewers out there. You could be watching or listening to any other program, any other show, but you take out the time to tune in to this show right here. So very hype and excited that you did so. So again, I spoke about my guest that I'm going to be bringing on in a second. King Arthur, man, this dude's an awesome dude. He's the co-host of Figuring Shit Out podcast. And it's a show about two business positive minded individuals trying to just figure shit out. I'm gonna be saying that throughout the whole show. I'm gonna just let y'all know that because I feel as though with our problems that we have going on in our society today, whether if it's in politics, sports, pop culture, everything in life, man, in in marriage, in the work field, we are just trying to figure shit out. And so I'm really excited to have one of the co-hosts. Let me bring him on right now. Actually, look, we're gonna do a quick commercial break. Then I'll bring him on after that because I do gotta, I gotta shout out some of our sponsors here. Let me go ahead and bring off that one sponsor. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll have my special guest, King Arthur, co-host of Figuring Shit Out podcast. All right, y'all. Shout out to Ingenious Gin. It's a black-owned, veteran-owned gin. It rose gold. It's smooth as I don't know what. For more information about Ingenious Gin, where you can find a bottle, go to ingeniusgin.com. Okay, ingeniusgin.com. Follow them on all platforms. Again, support our veterans and minority-owned businesses out there. So, without further ado, I'm excited because I talked about my guest that I'm having on earlier during the program, but I'm very excited to have on this gentleman because just for one, extremely down to earth dude. He made an awesome post, man. Shout out to our supporters that support here, but also, as you know, I'm a small business owner, Revolution Beard Care, and like I said, he's a fellow bearded brother, and he had an awesome post, man. And just ever since then, I'm like, this dude is just, I truly appreciate it. We just been, speaking over the phone through text messaging and stuff. And, I'm trying to get on his. I'm like, you got to come on mine, back and forth, back and forth. That the networking, right? The networking. I talk about this all the time because when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to business, small business and just business in general, relationship building is key. So let me go ahead and bring on King Arthur, the one and only. What's going on with you, brother?
What up with you? How you feeling, Brody? I said, man, he got the radio voice built for big time radio, like an iHeart got that going 95.7. Yeah, I hear you over there, bro.
Stop it. Okay, give me some more comments. No, I'm joking. I'm messing with you, man. Look, boss, man, I truly appreciate it, man. Taking up the time of your schedule, man, coming here on the show. Shout out to also one of your brands. You're also the founder of Novel Views. I forgot to mention that, Novel Views. So, I mean, again, an entrepreneur. Just an awesome dude, a fellow bearded brother. But you're also a co-host of a very popular podcast called Figuring Shit Out podcast. And first, King, man, I gotta ask, how was the strategizing of the name? Where did the name come about?
Man, I'm a reader, right? I'm a reader. So my man Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and he talked about how he was looking for the name for the book. And how he kind of, what did he say? He kind of thought about it, but he really didn't think about it. He went to bed that night and he woke up like, that's it. And ever since I've come up with a name for something, I rarely think about it, right? I'm not going to put too much energy to it. It'll come to me when it's supposed to, right? I had an app called Cuddy App, and the name was just so catchy, right? It was just a really good name. So this is my second podcast show, I guess. So the first one was Entrepreneurial Mind, right? That had maybe 2 seasons, but then it fell off. But then me and Frank got together. Shout out to Frank over there, my co-host. He the man behind the camera. He the genius behind the graphics and whatnot. So shout out to Frank for
shout out to them graphics are tough. Those graphics are tough.
I tell him all the time, man, ain't no show without Frank. That's for show. But we was bouncing ideas off each other, just talking about what we're gonna talk about. And I was like, bro, what about figuring shit out? He was like, we can't cuss in the title. He got creative for me. He just threw the X in there. And I said, boop, there you go. And for ever since then, it's stuck. And even the further we go, like the more people record with and longer go, the conversation just fits so perfectly. The name just fits so perfectly like a puzzle piece, right? Because it's just gold. Figuring shit out. Everybody's figuring shit out every day. Everybody's going through a day they've never seen before, right? And as people, we forget that. We forget that nobody's never seen April 24th, 2024 before. You know what I'm talking about? We're all living this thing a brand new. And so we're all just trying to figure shit out.
I mean, what I love about it is because it's a very great attractive hook. It's simple, and I think that right there is something that our listeners and viewers needs to focus. Needs to jot down is the fact that when it comes to when it comes to business, when it comes to just starting something, a new project, finding the name is always the hardest. But sometimes the title just comes across in a just naturally. You're like, wait a minute, that that's it. That's it right
That's
there.
it.
And it's so dope because I mentioned during the intro, it is, we still continue figuring shit out. We are figuring shit out nonstop. Like waking up in the morning, okay, how's the day gonna go? Or when it comes to how am I gonna what can I do to help make more money, bring more bread in the household, things in that nature. I mean, it's just everything we do is an obstacle, is a test, right? It's always trying to challenge us, it's always trying to build us as far as knowledge wise and things in that nature. So I want to ask King. So you said your first podcast was entrepreneurship minds or entrepreneur minds?
Entrepreneurial mind, yeah.
Entrepreneurial minds. So you're very passionate when it comes to entrepreneurship. Can I say
For
that?
sure. For sure, yeah.
Where did that drive? Where did that being that that's a passion of yours? Where did that kind of establish in
Let's see. More recent. So I got super entrepreneurial after that show, right?
okay,
So let's talk about now with youth for a second, right? So when I went to
hmm
college, this lady, professor, one of the first days in class, two things she taught me was like, computers only smart as the user. I said, duh, but it was like nobody knows that. Like the computer's only smart as the user. Computer's only gonna do what you tell it to do because that's what
that's
it's
right.
programmed to do. And then it's only as smart as the programmer as well, right? So the person who's telling the computer what to do, it's only gonna do what you tell it to do, right? So that's just one of them. And so I took that and was like, well, and then she did the peanut butter jelly experiment, right? So she
Okay.
was like, I'm a robot, fresh out the box. I don't know nothing. I went to class to teach me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I said, all right, that's easy. Everybody can make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, right? So here you go. Somebody say, take the bread out the box, out the bag. She take the bag and rip it open, right? Because you didn't say take the bread tie off, take two slices out. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? So somebody say, put the peanut butter on the bread. She take the whole drop of peanut butter and put it on the bread. And it's like, oh, right. So, but it was so simple that
hmm
even a child can pick it up as to know the step back steps that you got to tell the computer what to do. And so, and I was like, I'm in college just now learning these things. Why aren't kids learning this concept at a young age or earlier, right? So that's how I started out with youth, and that's where the entrepreneurial journey started. It was a nonprofit back then, and
Mm,
so I went around and I had a job, I had a tech job, and I was like, man, how am I gonna teach these kids computer literacy, right? How am I gonna do it? And I was like,
hmm
I get some laptops, I can go to the library. Where am I get laptops from? And then I did some research, and people started donating laptops to me. But TCC Community College, Ottawa Community College,
hmm
they had a program for nonprofits to where you could buy a laptop for $30,
Oh wow,
right?
wow.
And so I was like, I can afford that. So I would just every week, every time I get paid, $90. Boom, give me three computers. Give me three more. Give me three more. Next thing I know. And then so I had about my first summer, I had about maybe 12 to 15 laptops. All right.
Wow.
The library give nonprofits free time in the library. Right? Boom. That's another laptop.
Oh.
And I got space inside the library.
hmm
And so then I went around the community just saying, hey, you got kids, you want to learn some computer skills, some computer literacy, you want them to learn how to type. And back then we were just teaching basic computer skills, right? So typing, proper typing techniques, what's hardware versus software, data versus information, what is the internet, how to use it kind of. And
hmm
that first summer it was about 2 days a week, Friday, Saturday mornings. I had about 15 kids in there, and
Wow.
we was working. I remember the one little lady. She was probably 12, I think, or 11. You
Mm,
know, most of them don't know how to type, right? And my goal was just to get them comfortable and confident with using the computer.
yeah.
And so Shorty Doo-Wop ended up by the end of the summer, she was typing 25 words a minute, and I was like, I did that, and like, you know what I mean? Like I did that, and so
Wow.
I'm teaching her skills like tying her shoe that she'll never forget, right? Um, like you said before, we I focused a lot on health and wellness, so parents would bring in. So maybe all right, so the first summer was cool, right? So let me go
Hmm.
bigger, right? So next summer
Hmm.
I get maybe 30 laptops, right? And these are people just seeing me do my work, and they're donating stuff for me, donate laptops to me, and donate food. So I was bringing only water and fruit in the class. So
Mm.
parents would come drop their kids off with fruit snacks and chips and donuts. I say, I'm telling the students, they look at me like I'm crazy, right? So I'm telling the students, hey, you can get your snacks back after. I got food over here for you already. So you can eat this water and the fruit in this class while we do this program.
That's
And
right.
parents was coming back like, they still got their snacks. And I was like, yeah, they ate already. And so by the time they got full up off the fruit, the strawberries, the plums, the apples, the bananas, the water, they didn't want that. They didn't want that.
The
You know
stuff
what
that's good, the stuff that's good for you. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's it's just it's so important because I think what's the way I'm trying to put it out? It's almost like certain cultures are programmed on what they should put in their food because the
I mean?
way society established it, it's like, okay, you want to keep us eating the unhealthy stuff, and then when it's like time to eat healthy, it's like, no, I've already done build up enough bad health from eating the stuff that I like. I'm not. It's too late to eat this, because I mean, there's grown people that's like, I don't like vegetables or I don't
Man,
like I don't like fruit, and
I
it's
don't
it's
drink water.
unfortunate.
I don't drink water. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Ooh, that has the worst taste to it. What taste? It's water. It's this. It's refreshing. Like, oh, I
It's
don't like
your
that taste.
body.
Man, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she was 90. She lived to be 92, and I tell you, she never liked water. Like she liked the
Yeah.
flavored water, but she was like saying, "Out, I just cannot taste that. Oh, it's disgusting." I'm like,
So
Nana. I'm
funny.
like, what in the world? But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
So speaking of that, like, so it was a young boy named Ralphie. I never forget Ralphie. Ralphie was one of the younger kids. So I only dealt with like 10 and older kids, right? But Ralphie was
Mhm.
9. His mom was like, man, he good enough. He mature enough or whatever, whatever. And I was like, all right, Ralphie, come on. Ralphie had never had plums.
Wow, wow.
Ralphie never had. And I had. So mind you, I got 20 kids down there, right? And I got a couple of assistants volunteering.
Mhm.
Shout out to them. Daytimes on a Friday and Saturday morning, right? Because I couldn't have done it without them either.
Mhm.
Uh, but Rafi come in. Rafi ate 9 plums in a day, and I'm like, I don't know if that's okay.
For a 9-year-old, that joker said, "Give me some more to plug. Give us a plump man." And for a 9-year-old, that's like the size of an apple. The average 9-year-old.
He was handle things out, and he went home, and his mom came back the next day, like, "What you get my son yesterday?" I said, "Plums," and she was like, "Oh," I was like, "He loves them." She was like, "I never knew." I said, "Now you do." Right, so
Wow.
that happened. So that was my second year. So third year we get a little bigger, right? So
Mhm.
third year I'm now in 5 different community centers and
Mm,
libraries.
mm,
Now I'm up to like 70 laptops, right? So I ended up figuring a way to get some volunteers. So Brian and Stratton, they had the
mhm,
internships. They needed interns. I needed workers. So that panned out. I got a couple interns from there. Got a couple volunteers from on Facebook, right? And
mm,
then I
mm.
divvied up the laptops. I made a curriculum, and that was going smooth. And we taught over 100 kids that year, right? So
That is awesome. That is so. That stories I love to hear, man. I love it. So, has that been your max of saying is in total? Has that been your max so far?
for summer, yeah, because that happened and I moved up north, and so but I didn't stop the mission. Right? I still had and so I was such a giver back then.
Mhm.
Right? I was such a giver, right? So I was giving the kids laptops at the end of the season because they didn't have a laptop. The laptop
Mm,
didn't cost me that much, and so if they did good and participated through the season, sure, here laptop. You know how to use it. You got a charger.
mm.
I'm good. I'm cool, right? I even I did a fundraiser, right? Somebody's going to college. I ended up giving them $1,500,
Mm.
but I raised the money by doing push-ups and pull-ups, and so it was every I think $10, no $20. I was doing 10 push-ups, and then
Wow.
I ended up doing maybe 2,000 push-ups in like a month, So like,
God, thanks. So, but it
yeah,
was
I
good
was
for you. So I'm about to say this joke coming in like, what's up?
yeah,
What's up? What's up?
it
What's
got the
up?
kids involved, the parents involved, like people was, and then so people was trying to break me, like, I'm gonna give you 100. Here you go. Let me see you rock.
Wow,
And, all right,
wow,
man, I'm gonna put the video down, but I'm gonna do it. So I think that was the third year, and then the fourth year, like I said, I moved up north, Manassas area, and then so I had a lot of laptops.
hmm,
And the mission was still the mission. So the Boys and Girls Club, they had a summer program, so I hit up 4 of them, and then I'm just. But at this time, I'm lugging my laptops around by myself now, just to go in there for an hour, do my
wow,
thing, chill with the kids, teach them something. And COVID hit, so I took a little backseat. I took a
wow.
little backseat. Yeah,
That is,
but
I mean, just I'm hearing what I'm loving. What I'm listening to your story, man, is your passion on giving. I feel like that's a huge important thing that we all should uh just make it a norm for us because we live in a very privileged society. Like we don't, I think people don't realize when you go like overseas or when you go to different countries and you see the way, like you see, we have poverty here, but then you go to overseas, we are extremely privileged, but we do
super well.
have a super wealthy man, and it's like it you have to, like, for me, I was raised in a household where they're always saying, hey, you got to be a cheerful giver. That's like, what a nonprofit I started is all about giving back to the youth because they're the next generation. They're the next ones that need to, at least hopefully my actions can lead by example, just like your actions can lead by example. I mean, I know I struggled with when it came to typing in computer classes and stuff. We actually had like we had uh we had some kind of like activity where they put like a cover over the keys, like an orange cover, and we had a screen to look ahead. They're like, boom, type that. You gotta type by looking at that
Mhm.
screen without looking. And I'm like, oh my
The
goodness.
key
So
caddy, the key caddy, yeah.
yeah, boy, I was like, oh my, and it's very difficult. But I mean, I say all that to say, learning the ins and out of like computer literacy is extremely important because I feel as though that can guide you, that can get you into doors anywhere in the workplace, and then that's a very essential tool. And for some reason, and I know some schools have like a computer course and things like that, and I think now when it comes to like reality, a lot of people are pushing more to vocational schools because they feel as though, okay, when I go to college, which a college is nothing wrong with it, it's still, education is always going to be key, but it's like when people graduate, and I'm kind of ramping and going on a whole different conversation. But when you go on, I mean, when you graduate, you're left with debt, and then I'm not having a job. I haven't even gotten to the field where my major's in. So it's like vocational schools give you like, okay, let's get you ready for the real world, real world. Let's be upfront, which we're gonna get you involved in the avenue that you want to work. Boom, you're gonna graduate. You right there. You make your money. I mean, it's like it's a lot, man. So what you about to say?
No, I was saying I'm with you. I wanted to say something about that caddy, that key caddy. So look, I couldn't afford key caddies back then, right? So I was taking napkins, I was taking papers and throwing them over the
Wow,
kids' hands while they were typing it, and they was like,
wow.
"What is this?" And then and I'm a typer, so I can hear you typing properly. I can hear you pecking. You know what I mean?
Dang.
And
Oh,
so
so you like that king? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna fail already. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna fail already. You gonna hit up?
and then the parents come in there saying, I need to come in here and sit down and vibe with y'all. And some of them did. So yeah, man, it was a good experience, man. I was able to give back, and then like you said, taking my talents and computers to the Boys and Girls Club and the community centers and stuff like that, and still able to do the same thing. And so some of them had their own computers, so I didn't have to use mine. So if it wasn't enough for everybody to get their own computer, I had extras. You know what I mean? So it was a blessing. Yeah, for sure, it was a blessing.
Man, and it's so important. So you got me. I'm changing up all my notes right now. I'm figuring shit out through this conversation. So you, so you with the issues, not issues, but well, yeah, it's sort of like a lack that goes on in our in the community, and I say culture, I mean like the black community, but sometimes really just in inner city communities, because that involves people of all ethnicities and nationalities. So I want to correct on that one, because when people always hear the inner city, look, it's not just black people. You got white people, you got so many nationalities in the inner city. They don't have the proper resources, and when it comes to computers, when it comes to healthy eating, I mean, you involve multiple things. You involved not only knowledge in the in the computers, but also healthier eating habits, right? You mentioned you had fruits and other snacks, while their parents are like, oh my gosh, you never had plums. Why is that? Like, why did you not? It's just it's interesting, because it's just, we're still learning that till this day. We're still kind of like not ahead of the game, or we're far behind on, like, how to properly take care of ourselves. And I think that's extremely important, like you said, entrepreneurship, wellness, things in that nature. So as far as what Novel Views right now, I know you said you took a step back during COVID. What's some of the plans you got going on right now with Novel Views, or what's like the mission, or hoping, what's some of the goals that you want to continue to see with Novel Views?
Right. So, and with the setback, it was kind of just a step aside, maybe. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still had my curriculum and it was good, but it was outdated at the time. It had become
Mm-hmm.
outdated. Technology moves at hyper speed. You know what I'm saying? So one
Mm-hmm.
year we were talking about typing techniques, the hardware and software. Next year we got drones and 3D printing and IoT and
Mm-hmm.
printing and AR, VR, spatial reality. So that kind of said, I'm a tech guy, so. And shout out to Frank again. Me and Frank tech guys, so that's why we get to banter a lot, because we similar there, but we are different in a lot of places, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
COVID came, I had to revamp my curriculum, which I did, and I focused it on a future technologies and career paths, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
made a curriculum called Future Technology Career Paths, and the
Mm-hmm.
curriculum, and then taxed. I was taxed with lugging the computers around. At the time I had a 1 year old, 2 year old, so I'm lugging him around. He in the community center hangs with the kids. They want to play with the baby, but I'm trying to type. And then I still had volunteers and stuff. But it was cool, but I got taxed, so kind of COVID was
Mm-hmm.
good for me a little bit. I gave all the laptops away basically. Um, Gave all them away. Then
Yes.
I got the curriculum up, and so now I'm more focused on, I guess, technology coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and not
Mm-hmm.
just for the youth. So I got stuff for the youth. I got a free curriculum on the website, nowviews.tech for the youth. They
Mm-hmm.
can do it by themselves. They can go do it with their parents. We got resources like tutoring sessions. I got an out school and stuff like that, to where if they wanted something more tailored or
Mm-hmm.
something more specific for a subject, we can do that. But if
Mm-hmm.
they don't have any idea, they can definitely dig into the future technology and career curriculum and
Okay.
get right. Yeah.
Question, man. I want to ask, because I was a student throughout
Give me a second.
elementary, college. All.
Sorry. Give me a second. One
Mhm.
second. Oh, sorry. Bye bye. My bad, bro.
You fine, man. I wanted to ask, uh, have you ever worked with students or kids with like learning disabilities? So like, just couldn't grasp it differently. Things that, have you ever dealt with kids or students with novel views with like a learning disability?
Not necessarily learning disabilities, but behavior wise, right?
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
so not really necessarily learning disabilities. So my story with the bad kids, as they
I
call
got
them,
you.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I remember one day I'm at a 7-Eleven. I see a young boy. He got his shoes untied, and I'm just like, big dog, you look too big to run around here with your shoes untied. And so look, I said, look, bro, I'm gonna give you some change right quick. Tie your shoe for me. I gave him like $20.
Mm-hmm.
Tie your shoe. But if I ever see you again, your shoes better be tied. I,
Mm.
this is the truest story I'm about to tell you, bro. Maybe 3 years later, somebody commissioned me to do some work inside of a church for some troubled youth, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm in there doing the program. Guess who I see?
It's that
I
same
see
kid.
old, I see old buddy. Guess what? Guess what wasn't tied?
Oh man.
But
Oh
look,
man.
I'm gonna take it a little deeper. I'm taking a little deeper. I go hear him yelling in the hall, "Mom, I told you I won't lie. Mom, I told you I won't lie." And I'm like, "What?" She said, "Did you get my son $20 to tie his shoe?" I said, "I did." Man, that was the wildest moment ever to me. But the lady who commissioned me to do the work, she
Mm-hmm.
was astounded that I was able to get these particular kids to sit
Mm-hmm.
down. I had some Earl Nightingale playing in the back while they were typing. She was like, "They don't sit down for nothing.
Mm,
They,
mm.
they don't sit down for nothing." And so I would love to go back and reach them kids now, see what they're doing now, right? But not like that, not special needs, but people who need, right? They were in
Absolutely.
need for sure. You know what I'm talking about?
That's like, and that's so important because I feel as though with when it comes to like giving back to youth, that's the I feel as though in today's age, our youth is extremely important and they need the assistance. And it's no disrespect to their parents. It might be difficult. It might be a difficult household. They might be hardworking. Like it's always something. But I can speak for myself. Like I have some neighborhood kids, man, that are around the 13 to 14, and they're a little on the hard headed side. Don't get me wrong. They still say, how you doing? Yes sir, no sir. But there's still a little. There's some improvements that need to. And I'm not a parent. I have a dog. But I was raised by I've seen great parents. I'll say it like that. I've seen, because trust me, they knock sense into me, and that's why I never gave them a problem. All I need is a couple of little spankings or one slap. I'm like, all right, you know what, you're right. I need to stop talking about it. You're right. Like it's just it only take one time. But I think now we, parents and just guardians, you can't always focus on being the kid's friend. You really have to have them prepared and just, always do it with love though. Don't do it like just, no. But you have to really prepare them because like you said, big dog with his shoes untied, that's uncalled for. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Like it's just this why. And then on top of that, he came back with not like he just said, "Look at that money, man. I ain't paying you no $20 shoes. Buy me something with this $20." And it's funny because the mom was like, "Did you buy?" Was she offended or was she like? Were y'all pretty much cool after that encounter?
It was cordial. It was real cordial. She was just, he's a troubled kid, so he got that money somewhere else, right? Running the house,
Oh, so
saying
she's
somebody gave me $20 to tie my shoe. Ain't no way in there. Where he at? Because I always look, and he don't know me from. We don't know each other from nothing.
that is crazy.
And so she seen me like, you gave my son $20. I said, I sure did, and she was still untied. So what's up? Now I'm talking to her like, what's up? Why he ain't tying his shoes?
Exactly. Lady, you got some flops. I know you got some shoes with some laces. Come on now. Come on. Man, you being a tech guy, King, what's your take on AI? Because I feel as though AI prevents people from typing and all that stuff. Because you basically just like, it you can talk to it, it can already just write. What's your take on AI? Your honest opinion on
Get comfortable, get familiar, get
it?
fluent, because it ain't going nowhere.
Mm,
It's kind of like me and Frank talked about this on the show before. We were saying how people who don't know .NET, who don't know uh, floppy disk, right? Who don't know USBs, who don't know CDs, they're
mm.
going. That information is going to be obsolete and is going to go away.
Yeah.
But the foundation that I was teaching on was proper typing techniques, home row keys. The foundation, because of AI, is getting weak or getting lost, right? So now when these people coming up, these children coming up, they're getting straight to AI, straight to wireless technology, straight to Bluetooth, straight to
You're,
AI.
you're you're skipping out on the foundation, and it's like, okay, if something occurs with AI, now you screwed because you don't know all the basic stuff.
You don't know nothing about it. All you know is it exists, right? So you talked about getting our community involved in technology. Period. That's kind of our mission now, right?
Yeah.
I got a tech empowerment workshop for older people who want to get comfortable, confident, and fluent with technology in the digital age, right? Because
Yeah.
if you go on the AI or the Googler and you try to search some brown colored people or some relatable information, you can't get it.
Yeah.
Right now, here go another one. When you see these AI bots and when you see the AI robots and stuff, what color are they already off gate?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
How many more and righteous people are in the rooms programming these things?
Mm.
You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So that's one thing that we as the society don't look at or don't pay any attention to, because it's like, oh, it's helping me in my business. Yeah. But we also need to get people who need to program these things too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always I was talking to a buddy of mine because we were just talking about just check it out. I mean, even though you don't find it interesting, if you don't have an interest for it, it doesn't hurt to still, check it out, because you just never know. Like that's my thing. Like I'm not a I'm no like gambler or daredevil ish, but I will like I'll try it out, right? Or I'll read up on it to get familiar. So like if like I'm very involved when it comes to okay, what's trending. Even if I find something that is I don't find interesting, I'm like, well, obviously I'm just one person. A lot of people are finding it trending. Let me check it out. Just like when it came to technology, like I remember I was that kid in high school that never really had a Facebook. I never had a MySpace, but I was late on having a Facebook. I wasn't big on the like the IGs, Facebook page, all the social medias, but really I started to really get involved with social media as a business owner. So I pretty much skipped out majority of my youth. I think towards the end of high school I might have had an IG, but I wasn't very involved in it. But until I graduated, started, I'm like, oh, I gotta get heavy with this. I gotta, because this is, now social media is this another e-commerce site. People, when Instagram first started, you never could buy stuff there. You never could do this and that. Now you have your own shopping store on Instagram alone. And it's just, we live in such a digital world. It's funny because like the older people in my family, like my parents, my aunts, they're still like, I'm still a paper person. I do that technology, but I still need paper. I need documentation. I don't want nothing on no flash drive. But it's good to have that balance. Okay, you still need to learn it, but you don't need to fully give up on because you never know. You gotta be prepared. But everything is digital, man. Everything is digital, and it's interesting because little kids, I've seen like babies know how to control an iPhone better than me. And I'm like, how to it's just, and they can't even talk yet. I'm like, wait, whoa. How you do that? What button you press? They over here got to take out the pacifier and tell me what to do. I'm like, what the?
Now we homeschool over here, and so that is a battle, right? Because I don't talk about nobody in particular. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to the grocery store and see them kids on the tablets, I'm like, come on, man, they can't get on the tablet while you go shopping. All right, they can't be a part of the shopping experience. They can't understand that these cost $4.95, and when you get the $4.95 and the $6.99, you got $11 and some change, right? But you want them to Angry Bird themselves to death, right? And then you get mad and you get upset when they get upset when taking the tablet, right? When you're trying to force them to be paying attention to something.
Mm-hmm.
But we do a lot of learning on the tablet, right? We do a lot of different classes on the tablets and stuff. We got all kinds of programs, the reading programs, the math. Right. So you got to be real conscious and cognizant of the time and what they're doing up there. Right. It's easy for them to get lost in the internet, wide web of the internet is undefeated. Don't forget that, y'all.
Very undefeated. When it comes to some mess happening, when it comes to rap beef or the whole Diddy thing right now. I mean, let's be honest. When anything go trending, look. It's undefeated. You absolutely right on that one.
So I'm with you, man. Like it's tough because I got parents. They 60 some odd years old. My dad like, man, put the application out for me. Like, bro, come on, bro. I got a job. Like, I got kids. I ain't got time to do it. But he need a job, so I got to hook him up. He can't even read the text messages or something, sometimes. So I get it. It's
my dad be sending text messages and ending it by like a letter, like sincerely, Dad. I'm like, Dad, it's a text, man. You ain't say dear such and such. I'm like, give me the phone. Just give me the phone. Just I need to start teaching him some initials. Okay, IDK. Okay, I don't know. Don't give me the full dear Arrington. So today. Exactly. That man gave me the weather was this. Today is that. I'm like, Lord, sincerely, Pops. I'm like, oh my goodness, this man gave me a whole letter in a text message. Man, but it just again, I'm going back to your podcast with figure shit out because the world really has to realize, and I use this term a lot too. Like it's kind of like a segment I do here and there on the podcast called Common Sense University, because I feel as though that I can come across the most educated, very smart individuals, but without street smarts, I'm sorry, that's you suffer. You got to have that common sense. And I look at that when it comes to like you say, you see a lot of kids on the tablets when they're in the grocery store and this and that. Like it's like you can't separate them from everyday living, from reality. The screen is one thing. The screen is always going to be there, but it's starting to take over. And literally, I mean, you have because you dealt with kids with anger issues. There's kids that will fight somebody if you take their technology, or if you, God forbid, if you take their game system. Man, uh I
Hell,
remember seeing a viral video of, I think this, I'm gonna just say this kid was almost about to hit the highest score, and all of a sudden somebody pulled the plug out the TV, and this joke want to break the TV. And I'm like, whoa, like it's just it sucks
wow.
you in, and it's just like, come on, y'all, we gotta really start focusing and educate ourselves, and just figure shit out. Uh, but look, man, I wanna take another break, and when we come back, I want to talk more with your podcast, Figure Shit Out, because it's a dope platform. I want to talk
Right.
more about the some of the top interviews you've had on there, like what's been the learning experience, all that great stuff. I just want to talk more about Figuring Shit Out podcast. So y'all, look, I hope y'all enjoying this conversation. I am with the one and only King Arthur, co-host of Figuring Shit Out podcast, and also the founder of Novel Views. As you see, we've been speaking on nothing but awesome stuff as far as giving back, tech literacy, really getting familiar with technology, y'all, because let's be honest, we live in a very digital tech world. It's continuing to get more and more and more advanced. It's funny because a couple of days ago, I actually picked my wife up from the airport. She was on a work trip out in Phoenix, and she said, like, okay, look, you can either have a Uber, a Lyft, or you can order a self-driven car. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like a self-driven car. She showed it to me, FaceTime and everything, and it was a little spooky at first. But I'm like, yo, it's low-key kind of, it's dope, but it's just, that's the world we living in, y'all. We literally can get in the car, no one's driving it, and all you see is the wheel taking you from point A to point B. That's the world we living in, y'all. So just
Future
think
is
about
here.
that. You said what?
Future is here.
For real, man, the future is here, so it's time to get familiar with it and stop being hesitant or stop complaining about it, and just get familiar. I'm not saying become an expert. It'll be good if you do, but get familiar with it. At least know, and don't make it foreign to you, and just get familiar with it. But again, y'all, you tune into the Arrington Gavin show. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, family. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. I'm your boy Arrington Gavin, sitting here having an awesome conversation with my bro King Arthur, co-host of Figuring Shit Out podcast. I feel like I've said that so many times during the show because I just love that title so much. Figuring Shit Out podcast. Figure it out. God damn it.
Y'all got it.
Figure it out. I thought that's the late great Bernie Mac would say. Figure it out. God damn it. But anyway,
I need that drop. I'm about to AI that drop. Yeah.
Man, but look, I want to talk about this pod, man. It's a very popular show. You're on all platforms, man. You got, hella views on YouTube. You're on Rumble now, all that great stuff. So Figuring Shit Out podcast. We talked a little bit more about, the wellness, entrepreneurship. What's some like the main focus with Figuring Shit Out podcast, and just kind of give us a little background, kind of recap what we spoke a little earlier about figuring shit out.
It's just two guys trying to figure shit out. Basically, we're two tech guys. Kind of, he's yin to my yang. No diddy. I'm what is it? I'm a strong head. I'm a go forward type person. I don't need a whole lot of analytics with me. But he over there on the other hand, Frank going, I say, Frank, let's go do this. Frank said, hold up. I got to do this. I need this. I need 3 of these. We're going over here. We're going to be at this time. And I'm like, Frank, let's go. He was like, we're going, but we still got to make sure we got this. We got to make this. You got to do. And I'm like, but it's a perfect, because I ain't going to say he wouldn't go without me, but it won't look as good without him. You know what I'm saying? I go get it done. I'm going to go get it done. And I'll get better as I'm going, like a application. They meant to get better, right?
That's right.
They meant to get better, but with him, he's like, man, we can do it, but we can do it this way. And I'm like, all right, bro. He slowed me down a little teeny bit, and that's good for both of us, because I'm dragging him along and he pulling me back. You know what I mean? So that's
really dope. Good. That is dope. Because I'm sorry, man. Keep going. Oh no, I was gonna say the awesome thing is when it comes to building a product, right, or just really getting to that level, you always have to have a support. So you always have to have a village. It takes a community, right? It takes a village in order to get to that goal. We never can do it on our own. If we come together as one, look, so many great minds like this program, like Figure Shit Out podcast, like you said, that's the yin to your yang. You couldn't do it without them. So it's a dope parent that continues to grow, because you both couldn't do it individually, at the level that you are at now.
Right, and that's kind of how the first show kind of stopped, because
Mm-hmm.
we were the same. We were just two peas in a pie, right? So me and him, we agreed on everything. We want to do the same thing, everything. It was just two of the same people, right? But like Frank was kind of different, but we have over 300 shows now, bro.
Wow.
It's been about maybe 2 years, I think. Yeah, 2 full years, I believe.
Wow.
We got 3 different shows. We got the regular interview style show. We got our point 5, so every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, we go live, talk about business or some trending topic, or the reaction videos. And then we got a show on Rumble. We talked about figuring shit out, conspiracies. We talk about all kinds of conspiracies: flat earthing, eclipsing, the government, aliens, some of everything. We talk about everything over there on Rumble. So
wow, that is so dope. 300 shows, good man. Because I know y'all just celebrated what season 4. I think you're on season 4.
Season 4 starts Saturday.
Wow, that is crazy. I think I'm nowhere near that level. I think I started doing podcasts in, like, I don't know. If I'm not far from I have a number of shows, but it's like 300 is like, Jesus Christ. That's a lot of dedication. That's a lot of time. That people think podcast is easy. It's not. It is not easy. I mean, it can be draining. I know for me, with this program, like, really, the show is on, I'm gonna say five days a week. It's on like 5 days a week, and then I host a weekly radio show. So it's like content is always, like, sometimes I have like content lag. Like, my brain goes fried, and I'm like, look, I have absolutely, like, I don't know what to talk about today. I gotta take a rest, and I'm involved with doing like specials in regards to, like, say, okay, look, I've hosted an election theme night, a political one with a buddy of mine who has a political theme show. So we do that on the side. We like, I'll do so many added stuff, and it's like, and then, oh yeah, I'm a business owner. Oh yeah, and then I'm a husband, and then and it's like you tie that all together. You like, man, I am like, whew, can I win the lottery already? Good gracious.
Somebody got the hit. That's another thing. We're entrepreneurs, right? So I didn't talk about, I sell LED masks, right? I sell LED toys and stuff outside. And Frank got his production company, right? And then I got Now Views, and he got Cypress Bunnies. But it's definitely somebody got to hit. One of these home runs got to swing over the fence. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, man, one of them got to pay off.
I'm with you. I think a family member of mine told me once, they like, look, you basically throwing shit at the wall. One of them got to stick. one of them got to stick. Like, I'm like, that's disgusting. But I get your point. But it's so dope. What has been some of the, man? So okay, so I love the how you got it split up, because you have one focused on business, and what has been, like, say, one of the, not on, like, a very ongoing, like, conversation when it comes, like, what's a very, like big topic y'all had in regards to just business?
I don't know. So we have tax professionals, we've had real estate agents, we've had real estate investors, we've had mind coaches. We had.
What has been one of your favorite ones? I kind of changed up the question, but what has been one of your favorite ones out of that group of?
It's hard. The one thing I can say that I have learned was everybody has a figure shit out moment. So that's the question, right? So every guest is like, what's your figure shit out moment? And guess what? Every time we talk to somebody, guess what they're not gonna say? The same thing as anybody else. Is gonna be different. You know what I mean? So that's one of the best things I think about it. We talked to Don Dawkins, Popcom. big entrepreneur. She's in Ghana now, and she was a good one because I was glad to get her on. El Capitan, he's a fellow student from fellow friend from Hampton Roads area. He got his own brand, El Capitan, and
Wow.
they're doing good. We interviewed a driver from Made in Norfolk, J.
Mm.
Joseph. We talked to Money Briggs. He's a financial coach. Tremaine Well, like it's so many different people that we talked to. That just got a story to tell,
Mm-hmm.
and information to share. Right? They have jewels and tools and tips to help people do better, get better in their particular field. They may not be the biggest and most well known, but they are professionals and they do have something to share. So I think that's a big part to us, like learning that we can pick up something from everybody that we interview, right, and apply to our everyday lives. Because again, we're trying to figure shit out, and so we just learn it as we go along. So I don't have a favorite yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay, man. What I love about your show, and like how you how you just told me how you have it kind of like split between like, okay, boom, we're gonna hit conspiracy theories on this one, we're gonna hit business on this one, we're gonna hit. I want your take, like, on, as far as podcasting as a whole, like, what's your take on podcasting being that tool that a lot of people go to before they even go to the news and the newspaper, and like they go to podcasting now. I mean, they're when it comes to like answers, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna ask my professor. I'm gonna check out a podcast. Because I mean, really, people learn. We're starting to be like that avenue where people just learn and stuff on podcasts. What's your take on that? Because you and your co-host, man, you guys are y'all the experts. People are gonna come to you for like almost like an advice on a thing.
I've been telling him that. So real quick story. I was in college, and this is a mission out moment for me. When I was in college. I wanted to go ask a professor a question, and he was like, "Go look it up." And I was like, "Dog, what am I paying you for?" I was so upset that he didn't have the answer, and he told me to go look it up. But it was like, I don't even need this dude. I don't need none of y'all no more. I got my A's, I got my grades, and I got out of there, right? But with the podcast, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, if I want some professional help, I can get it. But first, let me get some foundational help by listening to these podcasts, by listening to these experts and listening to these gyms. And so I can get weeks of foundational information before I even go to a professional. So when I go to a professional, I know what I want to know. I know what I want to ask. I know who I want to talk to, right? I can even pick out a fraud and by asking them particular questions, right? And I'm like you, our generation, back when I was 22, I had mad music playing, Joe Buttons. I had some Jay-Z, Wayne, all music. It was just all music all day, loud as and I'm so urban, I guess. When I get to the light and I see somebody in their car chilling, I'm turning it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
What's up, man? Boy, yo, this is a beautiful day out here. Let me turn this on.
It's a good day, man. But now I come home from work, I got a podcast on. I got on the way to work, on the way home from work, I got a podcast on. No washing dishes, I got a podcast on.
What I'm telling you, I'm the same way. It drives my wife crazy because if we're going on road trips, I'm driving. Oh, best believe you know how many podcast shows I can get out, man. Shoot, I listen because I listen to them all. I listen to whether if it's comedy, whether if it's political, whether if it's health, whether it's relationship, whether if it's business. Like I literally have my slew of. I mean, I will listen to. I don't know. I can listen to say Joe Rogan one day, and I'll listen to. I don't know. I'll listen to an NPR related political show here. And then I'll listen to say a someone in like coaching, like self building, things in that nature. Like I love hearing different viewpoints. I mean, it's crazy because podcasting was probably is really now the future when it comes to shows and like I think that was like it's always been a kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's always been a popular commodity amongst people that tune in the podcast, but I won't say like they just started growing during COVID. It was quite a great market for them because so many people had the time to be like, I can tune into some podcasts. But now it's like people are listening to podcasts like 24/7. I was actually at a function where I was on a panel and we were talking about the world of podcasting and just people were saying you guys are pretty much the future. People look at you as like the news and this and the other. And I just say, like, look, everybody is. I'm not forcing anybody what to, who or what to listen to. But just realize that I think people are attracted to podcasts because we're relatable people. Like we're we're not all like, I'm not crazy when I see celebrities with a podcast. I'm like, you already have a platform. Like, like what do you that's a pet peeve of mine, man. Like if somebody very successful, what you about to say?
I just told Frank the other day, I was like, I am a hater, but I'm having my hater moments. Cam and Mace, when they got podcasts, I said, why? What are we doing here?
And they are killing it. They are killing it, man.
Crushing the game.
But you know what though? But they're Cam and Mace are a relatable bunch because I feel as though like it's not scripted for one. You don't know what they're gonna talk about. It's literally like guys meet up at the barbershop, like, okay, let's have this conversation. But I'm with you on that one. Cam and Mace, fuck them. I love you guys, but fuck you.
Go do something else. Yeah.
I mean like it even if Oprah has a podcast, I'll be doing the same thing. Like I can't stand with a successful person's like, well, time to make some more money. Let me go. I ain't mad at you. Hey, look, I ain't mad at you, but like, I always enjoy like tuning in a podcast for unfamiliar figures because I'm like, oh, that's dope. I want to hear what because it's just they're relatable people and they make it. I mean, the more authentic it is, the more it's like, oh yeah, I could definitely tune into this because it's something new. But I love the platform that you got going on, the format. I definitely got to tune in more to the conspiracy theory one. Because I know I always watch the business one. I watch a little bit of everything. I always, tune into all you guys shows. But I think it's dope, man. What's some of the goals that you want to see as far as what figuring shit out? Like, what's some of y'all like? Yeah, do you have like some not end goals, but like, do you have like a certain like, say 4-5 year plan with the show?
We are working, buddy. So I'm gonna go back for a second. You had mentioned like podcasts is the new news,
right?
But difference between podcast and news is right. When I go to channel 7, 13, 10 to 3, they're all saying the same thing, sharing the same story. When you go to podcast, you may get some of the same stories, but they're going to be nothing alike. They're not going to use the same words. They're not going to use the same jargon. And then all is going to be original and different. And you rarely get somebody just regurgitating right with something you already said. That's all the news is, right? So that's the difference between podcasting. And with that, I'm gonna ask you a question too in a second. I'm gonna ask you a question in a second. We are working on a network. We're working on a podcast network. Because like you said, we have expertise and experience. We have a monetized YouTube. We have a monetized Rumble. No, it ain't a whole lot of money, y'all. I ain't got none yet. But we have gotten some funds, right? We got a couple different shows. We got 300 episodes content, right? We have thousands of clips. Right. So what we are working on is building a team to where we can do more in-person events, right? And getting a network. So we got a couple people in the work right now. We got some contracts drawing up. We'll be talking to real soon. We're planning on dropping a new network, right? I ain't gonna get the name out because it's enough fire name. This is Frank.
I'm about to put on my TMZ, my journalist hat. Come on, spit it out already.
I can't get to you just yet, but we do got the network coming soon, right? So that's gonna help us bring more content, so we can just focus on, our 3 shows, our live shows on Wednesdays, our interviews on the weekend on Saturday at 10, and then we got a conspiracy that Friday at midnight, right? So that way, and it's gonna be in theme with our name, right? Because most podcasters are what? Figuring shit out. They're talking about shit that they've learned and or experienced and just sharing that particular knowledge, right? So I can almost say any guest that any show that comes on with us is gonna be a figuring shit out themed show. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Damn, I love that. I love that. I just love the figure shit out because I literally with my program, I always keep it like this. You don't know what you're gonna tune into, and I try to always change like one of my goals. I always say it a lot. A phrase that I use: changing the narrative. I'm always trying to don't judge a book by its cover kind of moment. I want to make it, I want you to learn. I want to have fun. I totally agree with you on the as far as on the news aspect, because see, mainstream news is always going to give you a headline, and on top of that, you got to remember a lot of mainstream media are corporate owned. They got backing where it's like, hey, you need to talk about this. You need to talk about that. And it's like it's not trustworthy to people, because I tune into all of them. I tune into CNN. I tune into Fox. I tune into MSNBC. I tune into every cable outlet, national cable outlet. And like you said, they give you the same thing. They give you it for maybe like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes max, a headline. And then it's like, that's it. No one really reads the newspaper anymore because everything is digital. So if you're not subscribed online to it, people are not going to tune in. So I always try to make it unbiased. I'm big on unbiased platforms. So like I've had on everybody. I have friends that are strong conservatives. I have friends that are strong liberals, and then you got me in the center being like, hey, look, well, let's figure shit out. Let's just talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's have some fun. Let's not make it so divisive, and just make it, because people assume what they see on TV is like, okay, if you're this, I can't talk to you. If you're that, I can't talk to you. And then I always compare stuff to sports, because I'm like, wait a minute, I got friends that are Boston. I ain't gonna say the rest of the word, but they fans, right? So I have friends with them. I tolerate them. They're not allowed in my house, not with no green on, not with that green on. They can't step. They can't step. They can't. That's a rule I have. But but no, it's like it's so dope, man. That what you guys are putting on, and it's just I'm a fan. I'm a true fan, man. And you said you had a question. I don't want to take away.
I was gonna ask you, what's your figuring shit out moment with your show? I'm gonna give you another time to answer it. You come on that show, you had to do a different answer. So what's your figuring shit out with your podcast?
Honestly, when it comes to figuring shit out on my podcast, it's always gonna be what, as far as like how this conversation will go, because I do have I'll outline certain I'll have an outline of like notes, but like I'm always gonna be doing how I'm gonna start this conversation, right? Because you always want to have a good starter, so you won't make people feel uncomfortable, depending on if they're not a sociable person, or just make it interesting. I always try to make it fun. Another figuring shit out for my podcast is concerned, and it's just on the learning aspect, because I always tell people, hey, I'm still growing when it comes to this program. I'm not big on editing, so that's a figuring shit out for me, because that's where the bread and butter is when it comes to podcasting. It's like, if you are nowhere near qualified, or are completely dumbfounded when it comes to editing, you're gonna struggle. So like I've learned, like I've created my own little intro video. I've done that myself. The graphics, the now the commercials, I ain't do all them commercials, but like I'm figuring shit out as a way I go, because everything is digital. So I'm always continuing to learn with that. Man, I've had on so many great guests where it's just like it's an eye-opening experience, because I want to keep on having people that are from fields that I am very unfamiliar with. Like I use this as my learning tool. So that when if I have a conversation with somebody, I'll be like, well, you know what? I actually had a conversation with this expert in here, and they told me this and X, Y, and Z. So it's always it's good. I got a lot of figure shit out moments. I'm gonna keep you up until like midnight. We look. I got a lot of figure shit out moments, bro. Every day I'm figuring something out. Every day my wife and I will been together for a year and some change as far as marriage, and it's just like, hey, I'm figuring shit out every day.
Look, I got a 6, a 4, and 2-year-old. Man,
Lord have mercy. Yeah, you definitely figuring shit out.
And it though, on the whim, on the cuss, and the shit came fast. They were bang, 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 and then but it's also teaching me though, like, who are you gonna be? What kind of man are you gonna be? Because they're looking at you. Are you going to talk it, or are you going to walk it? Because they don't listen. They don't listen. But he know how to do push-ups. You know what I'm talking about? He know how to do push-ups. He know how to. They know how to read. They know sign language. They know Spanish. Right.
That's absolutely right. And those are tools that are priceless. Like you cannot. It's so hard. I mean, knowing a different language, exercise. I mean that's just. That's man. That I don't know how to do that stuff.
And I don't either. And so shout out to my wife for real all the time. She impressed me with this one. She was already impressive. She was already the greatest thing in the world, right? Sliced bread, she was it.
Mm.
She taught herself Spanish so she could teach the kids. Well, come on now. And,
No,
but she's still figuring it out. She learned it. Like that was impressive to me. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her.
That is what I'm talking. See, and then man, clap it up for the wives. Clap it up for the wives, y'all, because that right there, learning something. Because I want to become a teacher, so I gotta learn from my kids. I mean, that's like, again, this is stuff people we all need to. I hope y'all really like locked into this program, because anything you do in life, it doesn't come easy. I'm sick and tired of people asking for handouts or expecting someone to give something to you for free without hard work. Throughout this conversation, all I'm hearing is, for one, hard work, a foundation. I've heard that many times, a foundation, because you can't do the easy way out. That's even in business, man. I always say you can't try and skip over so many steps as a business owner, because if you do, then something does happen and you're screwed, because wait a minute, I done skipped about 8 steps. Hold on, wait a minute. I mean, Denzel Washington had a award speech, and he said, oh my gosh, he said, you fall down 7 times, get up 8. I mean, keep on moving, something like that. And it's like,
I ain't hear that one, but I definitely say my son fall down. When he get back up, I push him down again just to make sure he get it. You know what I mean? Just so he make sure he understand what's happening here.
This man, King Arthur, borderline child abuse over here. This man's like, oh, okay, get it back up. No, but that's true though. It's all about that learning aspect. Because if they don't, and like you, I mean, again, and that's what comes with parenting. My wife and I, we're not there. We have a dog, which I mean, that's a lot of work right there. But my mom is already like, so y'all got a puppy now. You know what happens next? I'm like, I don't, mom. I don't.
Get him, mom.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I started playing like Forrest Gump. I don't know, Baba. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, sir. But
get that somebody to play with. Leave y'all alone.
I know, right? Man, King, I truly enjoyed this conversation. You are always welcome. I want to get your co-host on as well. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna keep. We're gonna talk a little bit more, y'all, after this show. But I want to thank King Arthur, co-host of the Figuring Shit Out podcast, also founder of Novel Views. I truly, boss, enjoyed this conversation. And again, here on this program, not only do I bring on amazing people, but I also I make a new friend up here too, and this is the start of a new friendship, man. I definitely want to have you back on the program, but don't go anywhere. How can people also, man? How can people continue to support and follow you like on socials, the show, Novel Views, all that good stuff? How can people continue to support?
All right. So don't forget, y'all. Rugged is the new smooth. You know what I'm talking about. Don't you forget it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. My wife love it. She be touching all on me, man. Can't get her off me. Say you smell all nice.
All right, nah. This is a family show now. All right, now don't get a little nasty. Now he said she be touching on boys.
Hey, I put the kids there first. You know what I'm talking about. But no, yeah, man. That's I want to say that for real sure. But you can go to my website, novelviews.tech. Right. So again, I'm a tech guy. You in the creative space now. You ain't gotta have .com no more. Novelviews.tech. All right. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Now Views. Also, you can do the Figuring Shit Out podcast. So figuringshitout.com is the website. Built by us, build our own website, right? Build our own link tree. Figuringshitout.com. You can go to and Figuring Shit Out on all platforms: TikTok, IG, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure y'all subscribe, and like all those, right? So yeah, that's it, man. That's what we
awesome, man. And you will be celebrating season 4 this Saturday. You said
this Saturday at 10 a.m. episode dropping, but we also got a show coming out Friday at midnight, and we also got a show coming out tonight. This coming out on Wednesday tonight at 9 o'clock. We going live, so we got a week. What is it? Event filled week coming up. So yeah, check it out.
That's right, man. I know that's right. Look, y'all continue to support King Arthur, co-host of Figuring Shit Out podcast. Please do so. Look, we're gonna chop it up a little bit after this program. So King, again, I want to thank you, man. I'm gonna have you on back, talk to you backstage, man. But again, peace and blessings to you, and look, don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gents. Look, I hope y'all enjoyed that conversation with the one and only King Arthur, man. What a dope dude. I was so in awe and so like just it's like, you know what, when you encounter people that are big givers like that, you always got to say, man, I'm truly blessed to be in the same room to affiliate with people like that, because you know what, it continues to keep you, it humbles you, because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I can be a little selfish sometimes, but I also have to realize when I encounter people like King Arthur, I'm like, you know what, I need, be more humble and less, less the opposite of that, right? So you be more of a giver. And I just, throughout his story, he was talking about with the computers and helping students out, getting when it comes to tech literacy, and just working with troubled youth kids, man. It's just it really it's a big thing, man. It's an important thing, and people like him always need to to receive those flowers on a daily basis, man, because there are great people out there in the world that do that mean well and want to continue to help kids and help build up the next generation, man. I also enjoyed the fact that, hey, that podcast, man, figure shit out. What's gonna be the name of this pod? Figuring shit out. I don't know. I'm trying to figure shit out. Like, it's so dope. It's so dope. But look, y'all, I'm out. But look, continue to support the Arrington Gavin show. New episodes again drop. You see scrolling at the bottom. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 10 a.m. Via podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast: Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, wherever you can tune in. Hey, tune into the Arrington Gavin show. Also at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, those same exact days at 5 p.m. at on our YouTube channel, our Smooth Club Media, Rumble at the Arrington Gavin show, Facebook on our Smooth Club podcast, as well as X. And then you can tune into on the weekends. Got two different shows. Okay, on the weekends, they got reruns of the Arrington Gavin show. Airs Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on ESP TV on Facebook, as well as ErnestSmithProductions.com. And then on Sundays at 12 p.m. every Sundays, you can tune into my weekly radio show In Your City, hosted by yours truly, along with my good friends, comedian Ciroc Fox and hustle queen, Miss Michelle Young. And also shout out to our producer, Mr. Cam Golly. You can listen to us every Sundays at noon on WNSB 91.1, Hot 91.1 FM, the Soul of VA. You can also download the app, the WSB app. It is free, or you can listen to us online at WNSB.org. So until next time, y'all be easy, stay blessed. I'm gonna chop it up with my bro, Mr. King Arthur, because we just that was just a dope conversation. I'm like, okay, we can't end it off that quick. So look, I'm out. Peace. Continue to support.